Just a little commentary here, guys. I know Michael Murphy's going on Coast to Coast tonight, and we just wanted to add a little insight into what my view, Scott here, of some of the chemtrails purposes are. We know they're out there. That's kind of not what's in discussion, but it's the why and who's doing it. And when you go to a website called airliners.net, they've got a lot of amazing photographs of aircraft from pilots, aircraft runways, and airport personnel, and then just fans of photography and airplanes in general. And when you begin to look at the contrail segment of that particular site, you'll find some amazing shots where those of us that are aware of the chemtrail phenomena will recognize those trails not as contrails, but as something just a bit more nefarious. And we see pictures like this where you have the sky literally gridded or striped out, and then the trails become widespread. They literally become this metallic canopy over the sky. And there's many reasons for it. We've got patents that have been around for a long time. Some of these dates go back into the 50s, 70s, and even more recently. So the chemtrails have been around for a long period of time. And the question is then why? What's the purpose? And this is where it's handy to have a weatherman show up. Because when we look at the clouds from above, and this is a visible satellite imagery, we begin to find rather interesting phenomena in the visible imagery. I've got one of those spots I highlighted here with an arrow. And you can see where the clouds, literally after this indentation, this ping or the splash in the atmosphere, we've got these directed ripples that come out. And where I've got arrowed is where we're finding these pings, these separate pings hitting the atmosphere. And then, of course, there's all kinds of other ripplings. And it's these ripplings from these pairs of holes that really has begun to constitute a huge portion of our weather. And we see these holes in pairs. It's pairs. And you need the trails to keep all of these resonating holes in place. And so the trails afford the weather makers a level of precision when they introduce the waves into the sky and the impacts they have on the weather. You have to have the trails so we have some accuracy. We have all kinds of resonances that show up, and when you have multiple signals or multiple transmitters, either in airborne or on the ground or at ship or in space, and pinging the atmosphere with resonance waves, you simply have got to keep track of them. And that requires trails. Trails measuring what the waves are doing in the sky. They catch the drift, they catch the dispersion, and so forth of the many discrete layers that we have in the atmosphere. And that is a primary purpose for the global chemtrail phenomena.